Here we go! A football Friday, September 9th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. It is here. Good afternoon to you.
Before we jump into last night, before we get into the NFL season, got to tell you about this speeding ticket that I received. Headed down to Monroe.
Get out of here. You got a ticket this morning?
It's going down to Monroe. It's going to
75.
No, 275.
Okay.
I was doing some work with SMA, opening a recovery clinic down in Monroe. Salvation Army, Harbor Light. The work that they're doing down there is amazing. Got a chance to meet a lot of people that are working in that community. More so on the opioid alcoholic side of things, or I guess you say alcohol side of things. But just amazing work. They also cover mental health, stress, depressants, things of that nature. Man, amazing work they're doing. But I'm going down there, right? I'm going 82 miles per hour, right?
And it's 70?
At 70, yeah, it's 70. But everyone's going 80, 85. You know, like once you pass the airport, everybody's on that same track around 75 to 85 miles per hour, right? So I see the cop clear as day. See him, I'm like, all right, cool. He shoots out, pulls me over. I pull over, turn the car off, hands up, the rules, things you're supposed to do. Guy comes up and says, hey, he said, hey, where you coming from? The reason why I'm pulling you over, sir, you're speeding. He said, where you coming from, where you going? I said, well, I apologize. I said, I'm headed to a recovery center opening in Monroe. I do some work in the addiction community as well. Okay, cool. Take your ID, get you on your way. So I'm thinking he, listened and paid attention to that. Came back with the ticket, and it wasn't a points ticket. He didn't give me for going over whatever. He gave me a impeding traffic. Impeding traffic, right? So I'm in my mind, and he explains all this to me. He said, no, I didn't give you anything for points. I didn't give you 12 over, blah, blah, blah. Just gave you impeding traffic. Take care. Good work you're doing in the community. Here is my problem with that. If you're not going to pay attention to where I'm going, and if it doesn't really matter where I'm going and where I'm coming from, don't effing ask me where am I going and where I'm coming from. Because I assume you asked that question because it's like, hey, where you going, where you coming from. If I tell you something along the lines of, I'm going to help at a recovery center because Monroe has one of the highest addiction rates in the country, so I'm trying to help that community, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to listen to that and say, yeah, you're doing some good work. Slow down. It's like if I tell you, hey, you know what, my sister's having a baby, I'm en route to the hospital. If the story doesn't matter, then don't ask me where I'm going and where I'm coming from. Just say, hey, you were speeding, license and registration, and come back with a ticket. Don't give me hope, because I thought you gave me hope, and then you come back with a piece of paper. Nah, it's only $115. I can pay it online.
Not only.
Crazy.
It's bull.
It's
a money grab.
Exactly. Like, I know that you guys fell behind, during COVID in terms of meeting your quotas. Don't take it out on me, a guy that's trying to help the community. That's it. I'm done. I'm excited. I'm ready to talk about the NFL.
Tom Mazawey. Now, I would tell you that I would have no idea about this because he came in a good mood today. I thought,
I saved it.
If that happened to you, I'd be pissed. He came in all smiles.
I hate the old impeding traffic routine. It's such crap. Are you going with traffic?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
were you in the left lane?
Yes.
That's the death right there. Even if you're speeding, get in the second lane. Don't go in that left lane for too long.
I was legitimately driving 82. I was cruising. I had people flying by me.
Of course you did.
I'm chilling, and they pulls me over. Meanwhile, I almost got pulled over again once I came off the exit on Telegraph. You know what I'm starting to think, man.
Damn.
Starting to think, man, a little driving while you know what. But I ain't going to say nothing.
You should have left the ticket on your windshield. That would have helped you.
Nah, it was cool. It was cool. But it was for a good cause. It's $115. I'll pay it online.
That sucks.
It is what it is. Life could be worse, right?
Damn,
I look good, got a good haircut, feel good, feel great. It's time to play great.
You know who was also impeding traffic last night were the Buffalo Bills. I'll tell you. I mean, 3 interceptions by that defense against Matthew Stafford. Football was back in a big way. It is back here locally as well. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But, Bray, last night, the Buffalo Bills opened up a can and put the NFL on notice. They are coming here in 2022. 31-10 winners over the Los Angeles Rams. Almost called them the St. Louis Rams. Yeah. But I'll tell you this much, man. For as good as Buffalo was, was as bad as I thought the Rams were.
Yeah, one of the big things I got to apologize for yesterday on the show is making my predictions. I went with the Rams. I talked about Bobby Wagner. I talked about Allen Robinson. I talked about them having Aaron Donald. I talked about Jalen Ramsey and them going out and get T. Miller, number 2 DB that was there 2 years ago. I didn't pay attention to starting anew. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is the Rams lost their offensive coordinator, Kevin O'Connell, and replaced him with Liam Cohen. Kevin O'Connell is now the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Liam Cohen, who was the offensive coordinator for Kentucky last year, new offensive coordinator. You don't have Robert Woods, who you're accustomed to having to at the start of the year when you were playing well with Matt Stafford. You don't have OBJ, who we saw at the end of the year play so well, especially in the red zone for the Rams. You don't have Von Miller, who you heard Aaron Donald talk about in the offseason, how much he helped him, how much he helped his mindset in terms of thinking differently, in terms of going after the bag and little things like that. You don't have that. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the ball, same offense, same player. Now, I know Ken Dorsey is now the offensive coordinator, but he was on the squad last year as a coach, as a quarterback's coach. They got the same squad over there. And now you invite Von Miller to the team. Did you see how good that defensive line looked last night? And I'm so happy for Von Miller because so many people wrote him off after he became Super Bowl MVP, talking about J.J. Watt this and other guys. Von Miller is the lead leader in sacks in the last 10 years for a freaking reason, and he looked awesome. The Rams, my friend, are in trouble.
Hall of Famer.
He's been the best. Like, I never thought it was close between him and J.J. Watt. Like, T.J. Watt can't hold a candle to what Von Miller can and has done in the past. He's an amazing player. But you see what he brings to the team because you saw the defensive line. They got some guys. Ed Oliver's the guy got hurt yesterday, drafted in the first round 2 years ago out of Houston. But those guys took it up a notch. They took it up a level. It reminds me of when Von Miller got to the Rams, that defensive line took it up a notch. Not just Aaron Donald, but A'Shaun Robinson took it up a notch. Everybody took it up a notch when you got a Hall of Fame guy on that line, and you saw it last night on full display.
And he talked after the game how much it actually hurt him to go against his old teammates, and he was glad. He said, "I'm glad nobody got hurt, and everyone got out of there unscathed." But he was havoc last night. A couple of those moves he put in were just. He looks like a young man still. Yeah. Amazing. And congrats to the Bills. They're the best team in the NFL. They are.
Von Miller was the best defensive player on the field last night, and then Stephon Diggs was the best offensive player that night. And then to me, the quarterback there, Josh Allen, is just a man playing amongst boys. I mean, that stiff arm that he had, and obviously we can't show you the play, but the stiff arm running for a first down was, I mean, that's something that grown-ass men do. And then, of course, look, that team Buffalo, with as much expectations as they have come into this season with, to come out last night and absolutely dominate that game. I will say the one part about Buffalo that concerns me a little bit is, man, do they make a lot of mistakes. That game was 10-10 at halftime because of 3 turnovers by Buffalo. Will they clean that up? We'll see what happens. But they make a lot of mistakes. Now, their talent gets them out of it. But that would be my only concern for the Buffalo Bills. For the Rams, I don't want to... Wait. Here we go. Overreaction Friday.
Yeah, there you go.
Overreaction Friday. If the Buffalo Bill, or excuse me, if the St. I want to call the St. Louis Rams. If the LA Rams were in the AFC, they would not be a playoff team. But because they're already, but that NFC is wide open. I am not going to write them off last night. But Matthew Stafford looked like the guy that we recognize here in Detroit for many, many years. And I'm just telling you, with Robert Woods gone, with Odell Beckham gone, Allen Robinson looked like he was on a milk carton last night. Cam Akers, the same thing. You know, you're missing Woodward, the left tackle, long-time left tackle there. There is some problems in L.A. for sure.
I'm going to address the first thing you said in terms of Buffalo Bills. At halftime, it was 10-10, but it was not 10-10. That Buffalo Bills team clearly kicked the Rams' butt. You saw that they were a better team. The reason why they don't make a ton of mistakes, but what happens is you got a rookie running back in James Cook, who's the brother of Dalvin Cook, fumbles the ball. Like, that's a guy, that's a rookie.
Never came in again.
Except for on the fake. You saw when he came in, they used him as a decoy. So that mistake's already fixed. McKenzie dropped the pass that got intercepted by the safety. So that's not going to happen again because you saw McKenzie make plays.
Took it right out of his hands.
100%. And even the other interception wasn't Josh Allen's fault.
No, that was out of his hands.
Exactly.
To Crowder.
So that's what I'm saying. Those are 2 drops and 1 fumble. That's not going to happen again. But from a systematic standpoint, man, they were a well-oiled machine, and they'll look good. Now, from the Rams, remember, it is week 1. Okay, you're trying to find who's your running back. Obviously, Devin Henderson looks like he's going to be the guy, and not Cam Akers. You're trying to get ingratiated to the new offense. You're trying to get Allen Robinson in there. Didn't look for him a lot yesterday, but it's going to come with time. It is Liam Cohen's offense now. It's no longer Kevin O'Connell, so it's going to come. It's going to take some time. Look at last year with the Green Bay Packers. Look at how they looked against the Saints. In week 1, they looked horrible.
Yeah,
they got blown out by the Saints. Who had the best record in football last year?
Pack.
It was the Green Bay Packers. So we got to relax and we got to allow them to take time to see what's going on. Also, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, new to that squad. The big thing that I saw.
I didn't hear his name all night.
He made a couple.
He got run over at the goal line.
He did. Oh, by Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen, 6'5". He's a big guy. It's a big guy. It's going to happen. It's going to take some time. It's hard to replace a guy like Wentworth in year 1 with No Boom. No Boom was a guy that struggled out there. He looked like a fish out of water. He's going to struggle. They'll get things under wraps. Is Matt Stafford's elbow? Is that a thing? I don't believe it is.
Nah.
But could that be a thing? We got to take time.
I don't know about that. I don't take that for granted. I mean,
he wouldn't play if his elbow was bad.
I don't take that for granted. I don't know.
He had surgery to fix his elbow. It's fixed.
I don't take it for granted, but at the same time, he had it fixed in the offseason. Yeah. Says it was the best. I take people at their word. Says it was the best it's ever felt. Take it at that. What we got to do is take a second, relax, see what's going to happen with them. They're still a good team. They're just new. Got to get the nucleus together. But I tell you what, they better get it fixed fast because there are a lot of good teams out here.
Three interceptions about last night.
I know.
That's Stafford going to Stafford.
I know, and that's a continuity of the offense, right? I mean, he lost his quarterback's coach or offensive coordinator, Kevin O'Connell. Yeah. I think the wide receivers are a big deal. Cooper Kupp had a great stat line, absolutely, but nobody else did anything, and he's just locked in on that. Let Cooper Kupp get his, but they can't move that offense.
He dropped the pass.
3 interceptions last night for Matthew Stafford. I hate to say I told you so, but I will say I told you so on this. It is, and it's almost very similar to how I feel about the Detroit Lions. Vegas freaking knows.
Yeah.
They were begging you to take the LA Rams last night, giving the Super Bowl champs points at home. The head coach, Sean McVay, 5-0 in season openers, unveiling a banner, and they were the underdog, begging you to take them. And Buffalo ran over them. Vegas always knows. I kind of use that philosophy. At least it gives me a little bit of hope for the Lions to have a chance against Philadelphia on Sunday. We will get to that next, but first a message from Gypsy Vodka.
That's right, the official energy drink. I take that back. The official drink of summer. It's no longer summer.
It might be someone's energy.
You know what? It's the official drink, period, man. Fall is here and the mulligan is here by Gypsy Vodka. 8% alcohol seltzer. It is time to support Michigan distillers Gypsy Vodka. Adam and Mike out of Petoskey, Michigan. Michigan State guys, of all things, have gotten it right. Iced tea, lemonade, and mango are the flavors. Tune in. It is amazing whether you're on a golf course, whether you're at home, whether you're at a barbecue, whether you're at a tailgate, because it's tailgate season, tailgate time. Have yourself a mulligan. It is amazing. It is smooth. But remember, if you're going to drink responsibly.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Academy of Warren. Academy, as we love to say it. Are you interested in expanding your career and making a difference in community? If so, Academy of Warren for professionals that have a passion for working with students in the K-8 department and more. For more information on how to apply, give them a call, 586-552-8010. That's 8010. Or visit academyofwarren.net.
Not yet. I think we'll know a lot in post-practice. You know, I think it'll tell us a ton. But I know he wants to give it a go, and he had a smile on his face this morning, so I take that as at least a step in the right direction.
And that was Dan Campbell earlier today talking about the Lions center, Frank Ragnow. So much concern about the Lions center, the Lions captain, because he was limited on Wednesday and then no practice on Thursday. He was out there running around with the ones.
He's got a groin issue.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's one of those lingerers, right? That's one of those lingering issues that, you know, you sit for a week or two, will it heal? Or if you keep playing, how much worse can it get?
The good thing about groin issues as it relates to bigger guys, you're talking about the offensive line, they're not moving too far and they're not moving too fast. So they tend to be able to play through these things. It sucks that it's starting the season off with this, but he should be fine. You know, I don't want to make a big deal about it. I think the Lions aren't making a big deal about it because I don't think it is a big deal. It's a little nagging thing right now, but should be okay. Now, if this is a wide receiver, if this is a DB or running back, linebacker, safety, something like that, guys, is taking off, that's running, that's sprinting, I have more of a problem with that. But a guy that's staying kind of in those trenches, he's not really leaving that kind of that 10-yard realm right there. I think he'll be okay.
Tommy Kramer on the other side, this doesn't look good. He's probably not going to play on Sunday, the right guard. So they say they have an idea what they're going to do with that right guard. But he said, well, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do, but we kind of know what we're going to do. Now, is that where Penei Sewell goes? We'll have to find out.
I'm glad he didn't tell us because last thing he gave us a solution. I fried and shot this, so right. I hope he gives us something better.
I will say my concern level with the Lions' offensive line, outside of any other unit, is relatively low. I feel like they have enough guys there and enough really good players, high-end players, where they can afford an injury, more so to the offensive line than any other spot, any other position on the roster.
Yeah, you keep saying that, they're losing linemen by the day. You keep saying, I'm not worried about that position. Down goes Vitae. I'm not worried about that position. Down goes Kramer. I'm not worried about that position. Here comes Frank Ragnow with a nagging groin. You're going to keep saying that. You're going to look up. TJ Hutchinson is going to be playing right tackle. So you're starting to get to a place of, you know, and keep in mind, like these guys are, we said they're good. None of these guys have made the Pro Bowl. None of these guys are Pro Bowl players. Like they're good. They're good.
Lions good.
They're Lions good, right. And that's why I'm saying Lions good. But we're not trying to be Lions good anymore. Trying to take that next step, and when you keep having hindrance like this, doesn't spell well going into opening game. Who you're playing the team many people think are going to destroy you.
Watch out for Tom Kennedy at right guard too. I hear.
Well, look. I mean, we can joke about it. We can make light of it, and the only thing we know now is that Vitae and Kramer aren't going to play. We really are unsure whether Ragnow is going to play or not. It's Friday. And it looks like he's well enough to at least be out there and play with the one. So we'll see what happens. I just think that, maybe not relatively speaking to the NFL, but for the Lions themselves, if you lose a position on the offensive line, that is you're much more capable to replenish there than you are at D-line or at linebacker or at, defensive back.
I understand that, but we got to stop looking at it from the standpoint of if we got these other positions. I would much rather it be this position where we're deep at than this position. We're still the Detroit Lions. They're still a team that is trying to get to an identity that is a playoff contender, trying to get to the playoff. So anywhere they have an injury, anytime they got two guys missing the game at the same position, it's cause for concern. I don't care what position it is, whether it's offensive line, DB, running back, wide receiver. Anytime you got two guys missing the game on a team where you're trying to enter the conversation that is playoff contender, cause for concern.
I still love this team. I love this opener against Philadelphia. Sold-out crowd, standing room only, available for the game on Sunday. And then, obviously for the Eagles guys, I mean, they got off to a really bad start last year. They got off to a 2-5 start. We talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, and yes, they improved, but most people talk about the Philadelphia Eagles like they are downright absolutely going to win the NFC East and perhaps get all the way to the Super Bowl and represent the NFC. I just don't know where this love for the Eagles comes. I mean, I understand it. They finished the season strong. Most of their wins last year, and they finished with 9 wins. Most of their wins last year came against teams that were under 500.
Oh, you've been watching Easy, I see.
Well,
you've been listening to Easy, I see. Shout out to the heavyweight stuff.
Look right here. I'm looking.
I understand that, but that's what Easy said.
Eagles. It is. Look at the friggin' record.
I understand. I'm just joking. I'm saying that's what Easy and the heavyweights were talking about yesterday.
They're not wrong.
I know they're not wrong, but this also last year. Why are we talking about what the Eagles were last year in September? This is 2022 in September. You saw an Eagles team improve towards the end of the year. You saw an Eagles team still make the playoffs. You saw an Eagles team improve through the draft. You saw the Eagles team improve through the offseason. Now, the same thing I say about the Detroit Lions, you still got to go out there and put it all together. Like everything the Lions did, everything the Lions have talked about, you got to go out there on Sunday and show what you've done. So I agree with you there. The Eagles have to go out there and show them they've got better. But my God, did they get better? They got better. You're talking about a team that was 9-8 last year. They go out, they get they get Jordan Davis, they get Nakobe Dean. Not only in the draft, they say, you know what, we'll do you one better. We'll go out and get A.J. Brown, so now Devontae Smith has another guy to throw to. The team was the number 1 in rush offense last year in the NFL. They had the number 1 rushing attack. They have the best offensive line as graded through Pro Football Focus and ESPN. You mix all these things in, you've now given Jalen Hurts, keep in mind, another year to get better. Last year is what he did. Now he's had an offseason. Now he's had an offseason with these weapons. I'm telling you, it's a much improved team from a team that was already a playoff team.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson, too, from the Saints, right? That
yeah,
safety?
Bradbury Bradbury in the cornerback position. So now you've got Bradbury on the opposite side of Darius Slay Jr., one of our Detroit songs. Shout out to D. Slay.
He's a captain.
He's as he should be, 100% great individual. You got all this working for you. It's going to be tough to beat these guys, man.
You look at the Eagles last year, just seeing how they finished the season. They won 4 of their last 5, 4 in a row. They beat 2 New York teams, the Jets and the Giants, and Washington twice. I mean, that's going to catapult you. Neither of those teams, Washington lost 10 games last year, and then we know about what the Giants and Jets did a year ago, lost 2 to Dallas. So while I understand there is reason to be optimistic about the Philadelphia Eagles, I do think this is a game where the Lions, if they show up, and I do think they can pick this one off. I really do, and I'm excited about it. I don't know about Jalen Hurts on the road. Last year, he was not great on the road at all.
He was good here, though.
He was good here, and I don't know, Braylon, you would be able to tell me more about this.
They beat the Lions by 40, man.
In college, it is one thing, I assume the Ohio State Buckeyes will put the Michigan Wolverines,
Right.
We lost to Michigan last year. We're going to train all year and beat Michigan next year. In the NFL, do these guys see 44-6? Do they care about 44-6?
Hell yeah.
Before you get to 44-6, you talk about the Eagles and how they finished the season, which is very true. They finished against 2 teams or 3 teams that did not make the playoffs. I give you that. Everybody talks about how well Jared Goff did down the end of the season. Oh, my God, he was amazing. His lights out stretch. The Lions, they finished much better towards the end than they finished where they started. Did they really? They played against Aaron Rodgers for 1 quarter. They lost to the Seahawks, a team that was horrible, 51-29. They beat a Cardinals team that played 2 games in the span of 5.5 days. They lost to a Falcons team that was horrible. They got blown out by a Broncos team that had been thrown. So if you want to talk about what the Eagles did in the last 4 or 5 games, talk about what the Lions did too. Now, as it relates to that, not usually unless it's a situation like this where it's a team that's not in your division and you happen to play them at home. Last year, the Detroit Lions played the Eagles in week 8 or week 7. Week 8. It was week 8. Week 8 at home, a non-divisional team, and got blown out at home. Now you play them again at home. That's something that Aaron Glenn, that's something that Dan Campbell, that's something that Ben Johnson have been preaching to this team all year. Remember that ass whooping that you guys took at the hands of the Eagles? Well, we got a chance to open up our season. New attitude, hard knocks. We say we're going to be, we say the Lions can and will. That's Dan Campbell's thing. They can and they will. Aaron Glenn's thing is we'll compete. Calvin Shepard's thing is we'll put the NFL on notice. Well, guess what? There's no opportunity like the present. You got a chance to do all 3 of those things on Sunday against a team that embarrassed you at home.
In front of a packed house,
so to answer
remotely.
your question, Ryan, yes, you do put emphasis on this game as a coach, as a staff.
What's the expectation for Aidan Hutchinson, the number 2 overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft? You'll hear from Hutch. And what about Dan Campbell? Does he remember his first game as a rookie? You'll hear from him next as well. But first, have you outkicked your coverage?
Oh, yeah. We all did. We all outkicked our coverage. But let me grab that sheet because I didn't have it.
Very good.
But you kind of, this I wasn't prepared. Sorry, folks. The Woodward Sports Network is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit-Washington football game that is next Sunday at Ford Field. That's right. We're looking for the not hottest guy, maybe the not best-looking guy in the world, but you have the hottest girlfriend or wife. So, fellas, if you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. Post a picture of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter or Instagram, and make sure you hashtag Woodward Front Row. Follow us, tag at Woodward Sports as well. You got to do that. Otherwise, you'll be out of the contest. Hurry up. We'll be selecting a winner September 16th. Outkick your coverage on Woodward Sports.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
I remember pregame warm-up. We're out at Tampa because we opened at Tampa, and they were a very good team. That was, that was Barber and Sapp and Lynch and all those guys, and Brooks but anyway, I remember catching a ball and this is in pregame. I catch a ball and I take like one step up, I don't finish, and I remember Strahan just yelling at me, and it was like, okay, this thing's real now, I mean, we're in pregame and I'm just trying to make sure my head's straight, all right, my plate, this and that, and he just lets me have it for not finishing. And but you realize, man, these vets and some of these really good players, they're counting on you. And it doesn't matter who you are. You may think you're insignificant, but you play a huge role in this, man. And your piece of the puzzle matters. So, but it's exciting. It'll be exciting.
Really good look at Dan Campbell reflecting on his first game as a NFL player for the New York Football Giants against the Tampa Bay Bucks, talking about Sapp and Barber and Brooks and those guys. What a team the Bucks had back in the day. The reflection on that, because there are some rookies in this game who will play, Aidan Hutchinson included. Yeah. It's going to be a special day, and a lot is expected of him. I mean, look, when you see last night how dominant defensive players can be, you saw Von Miller last night. Aaron Donald is only the best or second best defensive player ever to play in this game. The impact defensive players can have on any particular game, it's a big deal, and so many people are looking to Aidan Hutchinson to shore up this defensive line and get after the quarterback.
Yeah, you want to get after the quarterback. Like, that's how you have success in the NFL. You get after the quarterback, you sack quarterback, you make it third and longer. You also get that defense off the field so that you can keep the offense some momentum, like you saw the Buffalo Bills yesterday with Von Miller, what he provided for that defensive line, and Rougeau and Ed Oliver. Those guys were really coming after Matt Stafford. But, you know, it's not just on Aidan Hutchinson. Aidan Hutchinson's only one guy. When you only have one guy, you can't get to the quarterback. You got to have a couple guys on the offensive line. You got to have some defenders on the back end. You got to have DBs checking the wide receivers. Because if you stop these guys at the line of scrimmage, if you got guys that are not open, that creates quarterback panic. That creates seconds. That clock's ticking in his head. Now he's patting the ball. Now it's easier to sack. So it's going to take everybody a collective effort to really get Aidan going. But he has a high motor. And that's the one thing that I was a little bit nervous of going into this year is you got Aidan who has a high motor. We see the ability that he has. This guy can get to the quarterback when he's on a good team. How Charles Harris is going to help him. When Okoro comes back, how is that going to help him? And the linebacking core. Still don't know what you're going to see out of that linebacking core. I think that is the weak link of the defense and of the team. So Aidan's going to play, but he can only be as great as the sum parts on that side of the ball.
They got to get pressure on the quarterback. Let's face it, because the secondary of the Lions is not proven yet, especially with Aurier out. So that's it, man. You could only hold out so long in the secondary. You gotta rush the passer. And how many sacks you think, really, the two of you? How many sacks for Hutchinson this year?
10.
10's a good number. I mean, it's 18 games. I mean, it's 17 games now. You figure, I'm gonna go 9.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 1.
Basically, one every other game.
I'm gonna go 1 every other game because I'm just looking at this defense as a whole. Like we keep talking about, that's the weak link. Look at the secondary position. Like the secondary position, they're unproven. You know, your best DB is Amadi Oruwariye. He's not playing right now. So you're seeing, what are you going to get out of that secondary? I ain't seen anything special out of these guys last year. I ain't seen anything special in training camp, if I'm being honest. The linebacker core. Like, we're waiting to see what Malcolm Rodriguez is going to do. Waiting to see if he can be that guy. One of those smaller linebackers that's compact but explosive, like a Zach Thomas. But with that being said, he's not starting. So we don't know how they're going to start. So that defensive line, Charles Harris being paid last year for his 7.5 sacks, Aidan Hutchinson being drafted 2 overall because of what he did at Michigan. Those guys are really going to have to be the leaders on that side of the ball. It's not the linebackers. It's not the secondary. Tracy, and I understand Tracy Walker, but it's not them. It's that D line. They're going to have to bring it much like the O-line on offense.
You know, for Aidan Hutchinson, though, and you asked the question, you know, what would you consider a successful season, or what number would you put on a sack total for Aidan Hutchinson? I don't know if it's about a particular number, but you can visibly see a certain impact that a defensive player has on the game. Tomorrow, if he doesn't get to Hurts, if he doesn't get Hurts down, or Sunday if he doesn't get Hurts down, but he makes Hurts uncomfortable, if he makes him run all over the place, sideline to sideline, and throw on the run. Now, he does throw on the run pretty darn good. Jalen Hurts, it's one of the strong suits that he has, is he can roll out and throw, but those designed rollout plays is what he's comfortable with. When he's got to scramble and throw, I just think that's a little bit of a different animal.
It's a different animal, but it's not a different animal when you're the #1 rush team in the NFL. When you have the best offensive line in the NFL, when you have Miles Sanders, who's going to be predicted. We keep talking about DeAndre Swift taking that next step. Well, guess who else was in his class who's going to take that next step? That's Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is a guy that's going to take that next step behind that amazing offensive line with the tight end Dallas Goedert as well. When you can run the ball so efficiently as they can, you got a quarterback that everybody's scared of, running the ball as well. Led the league last year in rushing yards was Jalen Hurts. It was not Lamar Jackson. It was Jalen Hurts. So when you got that run going, man, you keep defenses on their toes. Now, Aidan Hutchinson, he doesn't know how to explode off the ball when it's coming, because run. He's thinking inside. Now you hit him with a little run, you put it in your chest, and you throw the ball over the top to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. It's just a tough beast when you're playing against a team that can do both. Haven't proven they can do the offense so much, the passing game so much, but it's coming, as they say in East Lansing.
What is a successful season? What's a successful game for Aidan Hutchinson? Here's his thoughts on that.
if I can turn on that tape after and I know that, you know, I'm dominated and I'm doing my job and I'm you know, just it's never been about the numbers for me. I think the numbers come. So I think if I'm able to turn on that tape and be happy with myself, I think that's a win in my book.
And really, impact. I mean, that impact can come in so many different ways, Bray. I mean, as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about your own position. Blocking downfield or running crisp routes and giving your quarterback an alley. You don't have to catch 12 passes a game to make some crazy impact on that game.
Yeah, 100%. A guy like Aidan Hutchinson, the high motor guy, man, he's coming off that end. Look, you want to take on double teams. You want teams to have to worry about you. You want to get upfield so far. You want to get up the field so fast that the quarterback in Jalen Hurts, as you alluded to, now he's thinking about you. Now he's worrying about you. Now he's making some mistakes because he's thinking about you. Now they have to slide protection, which means now you got to take away from some of the things that we do well. Now we got to add an extra guy. Maybe we want to have Dallas Goedert out there to go run option plays, to run passing plays. But now we got to bring him in as an extra tight end to chip off that side for Aidan Hutchinson. That's how you impact game. Get the offensive coordinator thinking about Aidan Hutchinson. Sliding protection. Now you're costing them an extra man in protection, a mindset, and a concept mind play. So that's what you want to do with Aidan. Have guys thinking about you. That's how you impact the game as well.
Lots of football talk to discuss today. We will get back into some Lions talk momentarily. But I do want to go around the NFL because there was some major news today in the NFL. Not surprising news, but major nonetheless. We'll get to that. But first, a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. I actually was just in Monroe. If you weren't listening and heard the story, I helped go down there with SMA to help open and launch a recovery clinic in Monroe, the Salvation Army Harbor Monroe. It is an amazing thing they're doing. You see the people coming in. You see people getting help. You see people having the conversation. You see people doing the things. I was able to see with my own eyes the work that SMA is putting in, and it is amazing. Destigmatizing mental health, destigmatizing addiction is an amazing thing, and they are here to help you. Go to thesportsma.com for all questions, all concerns. They're here to help and have the conversation.
You're an ugly guy, and that's okay because you've outkicked your coverage with your significant other. Well, that's good news for you. Their hotness and your notness could get you front row tickets. The Woodward Sports Network is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit versus Washington football game. That's right. We're looking for the ugliest guy and the hottest girl. So fellas, come on. If you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. Post a pic of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter or Instagram with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Follow us and tag @Woodward Sports. Hurry because we'll be selecting a winner September 16th. We can't wait to see you. Well, her. From the network that always outkicks the competition. Woodward Sports.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Hey everybody, it's Maz for Big Frog. You can get your free Woodward t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print you one on the spot. So right now, go to Big Frog Novi and get your free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Before we get to the major news in the NFL today, Maz, we'll go to you for that. Braylon, I want to give you a little bit of love here because yesterday we did Top 10 Thursdays, Top 10 players most under pressure, and Jalen Ramsey somehow, some way popped up on that list at number 9, and I think of all the people on the list, I was looked at that one a little cross-eyed, and now I understand why. After one game, he was absolutely torched yesterday.
Last 3 times we saw Jalen Ramsey last year, not so much in the San Francisco, the NFC Championship. Although I take that back because Deebo Samuel, he did have over 90 yards and a touchdown in that game. But you saw the touchdown late to Mike Evans against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey clearly was out of position. He got beat, touchdown, that tied the game, that almost allowed it to go to overtime. And you know Tampa time and overtime is unbeatable. But then you saw the Super Bowl. You saw Jamar Chase was having his way with Jalen Ramsey all game. Now, because of Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Leonard, they couldn't necessarily get the ball to Jamar Chase. But he was beat the whole game. Even if you look at the last play of the game, you saw the one-hand catch that Jamar Chase had and ended up in the red zone. You saw the last play of the game where Jamar Chase is screaming down the end zone, screaming down the sideline, wide open on Jalen Ramsey. How do you let that happen? So going back and watching the film, I started to see chinks in the armor of Jalen Ramsey. And I'm like, hey, this guy doesn't get it. He keeps talking about he's this, he's that, and blah, blah, blah. He's got to show me. He's got to show proof because the last time I saw you, and what happens last night? He's so arrogant, which
you have to be, right?
You got to be in his position. Jalen Ramsey's still that dude. Jalen Ramsey's still that guy. Like when you play in the league and you're going against the best of the best, guys are going to beat you from time to time. It just comes with the territory. I saw Randy Moss have his way with Darrelle Revis, and Randy Moss was older. It happens. I get it. But when you come to the press conference on Tuesday and Thursday and Friday and they ask you about this team and your response is, man, I'm not going to say they're that good. We're that good, but I'm not going to say they're that good. We'll figure it out. We'll go out there and blah, blah, blah. You're putting yourself on this pedestal that's above everybody. You got to go out there in the NFL. You got to go out there and show it every week. You got to show that you're that dude. You say you're DB1, show me your DB1. Go show me your Jalen Ramsey. I think he's got to take a step back and get back to the fundamentals that made him great when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's still that guy, but when you approach it from a Hollywood attitude, when you approach it from a I got my ring already, when you approach it from a less hungry point of view, you get guys like Stephon Diggs who remember losing in the NFC Championship to the Eagles after the miracle in Minnesota. He remembers what it feels to lose. He remembers what it feels like to lose last year because of the coin flip against the Chiefs. He came out there on a mission, and guess what? Mission accomplished. He dominated Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey, still that guy. He still has speed. He's not old at all. But he's got to go back to the drawing board, and he has to find that hunger that he had in Jacksonville that had him DB1 in the NFL.
Hard to get back.
I told you to double cover him. Yeah. And then Gabe Davis is the real deal, man. He picked up right where he left off last year. 4 touchdowns against the Chiefs. Gets the first one. Could have had another one as well. That's a good team, man.
Good player.
Such a good team. But the main one today, guys, is Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
He made today the deadline for the Baltimore Ravens and him to come to a new agreement. Instead, he's betting on himself, and he's playing this out.
That's right. Lamar Jackson from Adam Schefter decided to turn down the Ravens offer and bet on himself. He now will make $23 million this season and is expected to be tagged after this season as well, the franchise tag. So what happens with Lamar Jackson now? Ultimately, I think this is going to work out very well for him. I believe in Lamar Jackson.
As long as he don't get hurt.
I believe in Lamar Jackson. I believe in the Baltimore Ravens this season.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a really deep run in the postseason, and I think ultimately this bet on himself will be the right thing to do. I think it's really dumb on Baltimore's part because they're going to pay for him more next year than they would pay for him this year. I
just don't understand the Baltimore Ravens. I don't understand where the hang-up is, where the hold-up is. Man, obviously the Deshaun Watson contract probably going out there. And I'm tired of this word. Everybody keeps using it, so I won't use it. The old word, it's an outlier. I'll come up with a new word. Listen, it is in a category by itself. Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns, totally different scenario. I get that. I think that's the biggest hold-up. But from Lamar Jackson, just looking at the Baltimore Ravens front office, what do you ask an individual to do before you get paid? You ask me to show proof of why I drafted you wherever I drafted you. You ask me to be the best that I can be. You ask me to improve your team at that position. At the quarterback position, you ask me to improve the whole offense. Lamar Jackson has done everything that they have asked him to do. everything beyond shadow of a doubt, without a measure. He's done everything you've asked him to, but you don't want to pay him. Next year, if they franchise him, I'm going to be besides myself. I'm telling you, he may not be in Baltimore start next season. You look at teams that need quarterbacks. Seattle needs a quarterback. You look at Tampa. Tampa's going to need a quarterback after Tom leaves. You look at the other quarterback. If Tua Tagovailoa doesn't do what he's supposed to do, they're going to need a quarterback in Miami. Mark my words. I don't think Lamar Jackson's going to be playing in Baltimore. They got rid of his boy Hollywood Brown. I just don't see the fit. Everybody's getting paid. And like you said, you know who's coming up next year and the years after that. Justin Herbert will get extended next year. Joe Burrow will get extended next year. Those guys are going for a big-time cream. So with that being said, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, watch now because I think this show is over.
I'll tell you this, and you mentioned it the other day. Go back to when the Ravens won the last Super Bowl. Joe Flacco played out his option, and he said, all right, I'll bet on myself. And he won a Super Bowl for them and got paid the following year. So that's the last time that happened to the Ravens. So maybe they want to do it this way so they can go and win the Super Bowl.
Perhaps, and I don't know if that case applies to today. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it's an organizational thing, or maybe it's not, or maybe it's just this. And anybody that's had to deal with a big-time contract in your life, man, oh man, it's a lot easier to have somebody do that for you. It really is. He is acting as his own agent, and I do think that does play some role in this. Some role in this. I mean, I couldn't negotiate my own minor television or radio contract. I mean, I couldn't do it. And I don't want to diminish his. It's not a friggin' slight. But the minutia in a contract is something you need some representation on, I think. And I don't know if that has a factor in this at all. At least some factor, if not a big one.
I mean, at the end of the day, I get that, and you're absolutely right. I don't know contractual language. I know you got to read through all that, decipher through all that, see where they're trying to, screw you over here or this.
Because they're always trying to screw you over.
I get all that. Just give me a contract that exists already. Hey, here's Russell Wilson's contract. Hey, do that a little better. Mm-hmm. Do that a little better. Take that, make that a little more. Here's Deshaun Watson's contract. I understand I'm not getting $230 million guaranteed. Give me $229. Here's that deal. Make that happen. Like, it's not that hard.
I don't disagree with you.
What are we waiting on? Because you think that one of those backup quarterbacks is going to be the guy? Because you think you can replace Lamar Jackson? I just don't understand. I get to a certain extent having that agent in place, having an agent be able to kind of go back and forth, and maybe making you accept something that you don't want to accept because you're like, he told me that this is the best they can do. We'll get in on the back end or something. Maybe that's an agent's right and the agent's rule. I get that. But at the end of the day, if you can't make me understand it, I'm like Lamar Jackson. I'll play for that 23 and I'll keep it moving next year. Because don't franchise me next year. I don't want to be here. Yeah. So don't franchise me.
Maybe they like Tyler Huntley.
And
I like him. I don't know if he's Lamar Jackson. I don't know. Maybe he is.
Well, I'll tell you, he's not Lamar Jackson. But I think he's a good quarterback. But I don't. You're not. Everybody in the league is going to be knocking down Lamar Jackson's door. You don't let Lamar Jackson walk out of your possession.
You could trade him next year.
You
could trade him. You could franchise him and trade him.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, maybe that's the thing there, Ryan. Is you look at it from Lamar Jackson's standpoint. Lamar Jackson's a starting quarterback with the Detroit Lions, and his backup is David Blau. Or his backup is Nate Suffield. Well, yeah, you got to pay that man because he provides something that no one provides. No backup can provide that. But if you're the Baltimore Ravens, quarterback play is not what has won you Super Bowls. Quarterback play is not what's cost you to continuously be a team that is winning every preseason game and getting to the playoffs. It's defense. Defense is loaded again. It's offensive line. Their offensive line is loaded again. It's running back play. They believe J.K. Dobbins can be that running back. So if you're looking at it from that standpoint, you're like, while Lamar is special, is he that special considering what our team is made up of and what our identities are on offense and defense? Because Tyler Huntley, the way we run our offense,
yeah, he can win.
I don't see him. If you're looking at it from that way, maybe that's the way. The Baltimore Ravens are looking at it.
I'll let you have the last word here, Braylon.
No, go ahead.
But pretty simple to me at this point moving forward. You're getting $23 million this year. Go win a Super Bowl or go compete for a Super Bowl, at least win an MVP award, and you double it next year minimum. Minimum, you're playing for $46 million a year next year.
Guess what?
If you bet on yourself this year.
Yesterday's price ain't today's price. And that's what's going to happen because today's price ain't going to be tomorrow's price.
That's right. No doubt about it. All right, guys, it is a fill-in-the-blank Friday. We'll do that
I use
next.
A for effect.
But first, a message from the Folding Warehouse.
All right, my man. Folding and football and bowling put together 2 awesome games. Get down to Hamtramck. Ask for Chris Hutt. He invented this game. 2 ways to play it. $12 unlimited open play. So go at the beginning and stay till it closes. Or a private lane reservation, 10 or 12 of your favorites on one lane. $120 it runs you, but you have it for 2 hours. Any drink you want. They have multiple full bars, and they offer over 100 beers. How about that? And the mystery, $2 mystery beer machine. That's right. Give it a whirl. Put $2 in. See if you get a Colt 45 or a Schaefer. How about a Rheingold, the old one from New York? How about it? Bring your own food in, have it delivered. Just get going. Get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Planet Fitness is the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports and home of the Judgment Free Zone, which means you can go there and get you a $10 membership.
Only $10.
Hey, man, only $10 right now. To get yourself a $10 membership. Go and work out at your pace, at your leisure. Get it in. Even got a brand new Planet Fitness, and I had the privilege of saying it at the Detroit Performance Center for the Detroit Pistons, the Motor City Cruise. Amazing facility. But the best thing I liked about it, everybody was working out at their own place. Your fitness is essential with Planet Fitness, so why not get in shape? The fall is here. So the summer's over, but the fall is here. You want to look good in the winter? You want to look good for Halloween? You want to be whatever you want to be for Halloween? Well, get down to Planet Fitness, get in shape so you look good. Your fitness is essential.
All right, gang, coming up top of the hour, we'll have Jim Brandstatter talking a little Michigan football. And we'll ask him about the Lions, too. Longtime voice of the Michigan Wolverines.
I know that guy.
I'm going to ask him what he did on Saturday.
There you go. You think he was at the game?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll ask him.
I bet he was.
But in the meantime, it is a fill-in-the-blank Friday.
Yes, sir. NFL edition, of course, my man. And here we go. Let's start it off. You ready, fellas?
Here we go.
Here we go. The Patriots dynasty is blank.
I think it's an easy one. I think everybody has the same word, but I'll start over. I'd say over.
I'll say long gone, to use a phrase from the great Ernie Hartwell.
I wanted to say more. I wanted to say it's a sham. That's what I was going to say, but I would just say over.
Why? Because of the whole Tom Brady thing?
Well, no. Well, yeah, because,
Because they won so many close games and a play here?
Because everybody tried to make it seem like the system was Belichick. The system was Belichick, and I believe the system was Belichick to get to the playoffs. It was Belichick to get the situation. But Tom Brady is the real system. So I think it's a shame considering the mindset, because now you see Tampa Tom has success wherever the hell he goes.
I mean, they haven't won a playoff game since 2018. You're 4 years over.
Do you think they make the playoffs this year?
I do not.
None of us had them.
That's right. None of us had them.
I do not believe.
Do you think we're undervaluing them?
No.
I think a little bit on the defensive side, because that defense was good last year. Like then when they won those 8 games in a row last year, when they went on that stretch with Matthew Judon, like that's
the guy.
Like that deep 100%. Like that defense is still legit. That defense is still good. But even on that side, who was the best defender in the NFL last year? It wasn't Jalen Ramsey by stats. It was C.J. Jackson.
Yeah.
Guess what happened? They didn't extend C.J. Jackson. He's now a proud member of the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
When they were a really good defense 4 years ago, when Stephon Gilmore was Defensive Player of the Year, they let him go. Those are the type of mistakes that are going to cost you in the long run. And Ryan has talked about this. Those are the type of mistakes where it causes you to ask questions. Has it passed Bill Belichick by? Because I don't think that system can continuously be like, well, we don't have to pay this person. J.C. Jackson is a damn good defensive back. Stephon Gilmore was a freaking defensive player of the year. Sooner or later, you got to swallow your pride and cough up some cash.
That's exactly right. I mean, how much longer can Devin McCourty do
His
it?
brother retired.
Yeah, I mean, how much longer?
Jason said, look, I'm tired of this.
How much longer can Devin McCourty do it? I mean, Josh Uche is starting for him.
They were so desperate. They bought Malcolm. They bought Malcolm
Butler.
Malcolm Butler. They bought Malcolm Butler back, and he got injured in the preseason.
I mean,
they bought him back. Got injured.
Belichick didn't want nothing to do with him. Remember, he got rid of him right away.
Matthew Judon is a beast, but they don't got anybody else on that defense.
I want a 30 for 30 on what happened with Malcolm Butler in that Super Bowl. To this day, nobody knows what happened. He just, remember that?
Yeah, he just disappeared.
No, he benches him. He was crying on the sideline. You can see him crying. He benched him, and Alshon Jeffrey had a freaking field day. Either way, all right. Back
Eagles were happy about it, though.
Done. Oh, 100%.
All right, here we go. Number 2. Patrick Mahomes will blank Tyreek Hill.
Respect. He'll respect Tyreek Hill now that he's gone. Just like the song said, you're going to miss me when I'm gone. And that's what's going to happen. Look, I know Patrick Mahomes is an amazing quarterback. Flannel Sound would kill me if he was here if I said this. I get it. But there's something different when you got a player like Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, he's not just a wide receiver. Give the ball. You know what he's like, Ryan? You ever play, I know you did, backyard football, play 500, play those games back in the day. Have fun. You're playing around. You got that guy in the neighborhood nobody can tackle. It doesn't matter what position he plays. If he plays quarterback, he's basically like Shoelace. It's like Denard Robinson. Whatever you do with him, whether he's punt returning, kick returning, you play him at quarterback, he runs the option. Whatever you do with Tyreek Hill on the offensive side, he's gonna have you have success. It's one thing when you drop back, and in your mind you can have fun because you're like, oh, I know I got Tyreek Hill on the team, so I can find Tyreek at all times. He'll get me out of jams. He don't have that. And I understand they're saying that Sky Moore is fast and he's electric. I get you. He understands Valdez-Scantling. I get all that. I understand Juju Smith-Schuster he's back. He's off TikTok. I get all that. You can put all them together, including Travis Kelce. They ain't Tyreek Hill. He's going to respect Tyreek Hill now that he's no longer there.
Patrick Mahomes will have nightmares about Tyreek Hill. It's not that easy to replace these guys. It's not going to be for Green Bay to replace Devontae. It's not going to be, Aaron Rodgers this year. It's not going to be easy to replace, top 5 wide receivers in the National Football League. You just don't get to do that and have that same success, in my opinion.
Even with Devontae Adams, I can name you some receivers that have been like Devontae Adams in the history of receiving, even in the last 5, 10, 15 years. And Chad Johnson is the guy that comes to mind when I think about not our Chad Johnson, but Ocho Cinco. I can name you guys for Devontae Adams. Tyreek Hill, I've never seen an NFL player like Tyreek Hill. Never, ever, ever have I seen another player like Tyreek Hill.
Tua is going to be thankful, I can tell you that.
100%.
We can squeeze another one in before Brandy.
Keep going until he joins us.
Aaron Rodgers' favorite target will be?
Aaron Jones.
A little dump pass?
100%. He throws him a lot of passes. Aaron Jones had 400 yards catching, receiving last year. I mean, it's going to be Lazard. But I'm just saying from a trust standpoint, Like, I don't know if he trusts any of those guys. Sammy Watkins is just an okay guy. Randall Cobb's an older guy. They use him more in the red zones on short.
Then he's got his two rookies.
I'm telling you. Well, right now he doesn't. He doesn't like either one of them.
He don't like Dubes or Watson.
He does not. I'm telling you, probably Lazard and Aaron Jones.
Right.
That's a really
Aaron
good
Jones.
point on Aaron Jones. I was gonna say Sammy Watkins just because he's a veteran. Lazard is questionable now. He popped up on the injury report. Will he play against the Vikings this weekend? We don't know. And then these two rookies, he just has no confidence in
Christian
whatsoever.
Watson,
They drop a pass early, and I don't know how that relationship is going to work. Again, guys, I'm not just saying this for I think Green Bay's a 7-win team, and I think this void that Devontae Adams is leaving is a giant freaking hole.
I agree with you.
Just saying.
I agree with you. It's just that they revamped that defense. So I know that defense is really good, so I know that's going to help them. And I know Aaron, you put a good defense with a guy in Aaron Rodgers, they're going to make some plays. But 100%, man, you look at that. Christian Watson, Romeo Dubes, if those guys can't get lined up, if those guys are in the wrong place when they run routes, not adopting to the different route concepts that they have, man, they won't play for him.
All right, here we go. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy. Calls from Mike McCarthy's job will start blank.
Sunday night. After they lose to the Tampa Bay Bucks at home. It was so bad last year that, what's the defensive coordinator's name? Dan Quinn.
The former Falcon coach.
Went up to Mike McCarthy and asked if he wanted him to resign because the players, the locker room, the organization, the fans wanted Dan Quinn to be the head coach of this team. They lose one game to Tampa this weekend. The calls for him will already begin.
You stole my thunder. I was going to say Monday morning. So as soon as this game is over Monday morning, the calls coming in. But you know what? You might be right. They might start fielding calls as soon as
halftime.
You think it's that bad?
It is.
All right, we'll have to find out. Here we go. Eagles fans. This is for you guys. Eagles fans will be blank with Jalen Hurts.
Frustrated. Frustrated is the word I use because he's
Did he steal your thunder again?
Hell no, he didn't.
He's gonna show flashes of brilliance. And then he's going to frustrate him with a turnover here and there and the lack of consistency. I think it's going to be...
Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over, though. Like, that's not
there
one
you
thing.
go.
That's not one thing.
Fill in the blank. Eagles fans will be blank with Jalen Hurts.
Be elated. Like, Jalen Hurts is... Listen.
He's my fantasy quarterback. I want him to
even after the Lions win on Sunday?
Oh, yeah.
What's next?
Jim Brandstatter, he's next. We're going to take a break, come right back with Brandy. We'll talk about those Michigan Wolverines. I left Braylon speechless
and
after
Lions.
that one.
And
Lions. But first, a message from Les Stanford. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. Got to make a plan, though. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford has over 300 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. For more, visit LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Find them.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, just count my fun coupons from that winner I gave you last night, but that's okay. That's what we do over there at Woodward Bets at 4:30 at the Woodward Bets YouTube page. But hey, listen, you guys got to get over that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and the best place to check all the odds of sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get back to them fun coupons. That's what we like, winners. Listen, not much going on here on Friday, but I'm going to get you a little head start for the weekend. All you Sparty fans, let's roll. Let's go with the Spartans this weekend. Akron, they took it real tough to St. Francis, big powerhouse, and took them to overtime. Sparties are going to roll them. Oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
At Alta, uptime
Alta.
matters. Alta Equipment's got everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta Rental has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Hour number 2 of the program. Welcome in Woodward Sports Network. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. We'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. Coming up on 32,000 subscribers on YouTube. How about 50,000 subscribers on Twitter, or followers on Twitter?
Sweet.
Coming up on that number as well. We should get there maybe even in the next month. So we're really excited about that. Let's bring him in as long as I can remember. He has been in the booth for the University of Michigan. The great Jim Brandstatter. Brandy, how are you, my friend?
Hi, guys. How are you?
What's going on, Brandy?
Good, Jim.
Doing so good. Jim, I wanted to ask you, first question, what did you do on Saturday? Where were you on Saturday at noon?
I was in the press box. I was watching the game, and I will honestly tell you, I'm a lousy spectator.
You know, they do say we have that rule of no cheering in the press box, right? That's why I never watched the game in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was like, you're involved in the game. And I've been 43 years involved in the game. I'd be walking up to me during a TV break, giving me their phone and saying, why don't you text this guy back? Like, I'm sorry, I'm watching the game. And they say, well, there's nothing going on. Well, it's in my brain there's something going on.
Yeah.
So I had to get used to the fact that there's a social thing going on during a football game that I never was involved in for the last 43 years. So, like I said, I'm not a very good fan, or I'm not a very good spectator, and I learned that lesson real good on Saturday.
What's up, Brandy?
How you doing, Brandon?
Hey, man, I'm doing really good, man. Like, talk to me. What was it like 4 decades in? You know, you are in that position. And all of a sudden, you're no longer in that position. You're sitting there. You're analyzing the game. You're watching the game. Did you want to ever take the microphone from Doug or John and say, no, you should have said this. No, right. It should have been this call. How was it watching those guys be, in their inaugural performance?
At some point, you got to let it go and let the other guys take over. And that's kind of how I felt. Now, I went into the booth prior to the game. I gave Doug a big high five and said, good luck, get after him. You're made for this job, go do it. And same thing with John. Of course, we've worked with John before.
Yeah.
And they both have a course that they have to chart. They've got to take it. They don't need my help to do that now. From my perspective, remember, we knew we were going to step back a full year ahead of this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of prepared to know that, hey, I've gone through all the scenarios. And don't get crazy. Don't sit there and try to do the game. And so I kind of got myself ready for it. So what was it like? It was odd. It was weird. And like I was telling you earlier, the weirdest thing is I never really realized there's so much social things going on around the game. I was always focused on the football game. When they went to a TV break or a commercial break, I was changing from offense to defense. I was looking at stats. I was checking with our engineer to see if there were any commercial reads we had to do. And that 2 minutes went fast. And then you're back into the game. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We've got J.J. McCarthy over the football. He's in a shotgun.
Oh, man. Don't do me like that. That sounds so good. I'm used to that sound right there. Don't do that to me, man.
I appreciate it. Braylon split wide. He's in motion towards the ball.
Look at that. I got goosebumps, Brandy.
Well, man, how do you not? Quick question. I bet, even though you're done, I bet you're glad you're done and don't have to deal with the smoke that is which quarterback is going to take over. I'm glad you got out before this year.
Hey, Braylon, I swear to God, it's like you're reading my mind.
100%.
You know how many times that, and it's not just, the J.J. McCarthy, Kate McNamara thing and all that's going on there, but it's also college football is changing completely. And in my eyes, and in my view, in my opinion, I should say, not maybe for the better. The NIL thing, the ability to go in the transfer portal. When you got a guy at Michigan State who lined up for Penn State a week ago, and he's now wearing green and white for the Spartans. Those kinds of things just don't sit well with me. Call me an old dinosaur, call me an old traditionalist, but college football is going to a place where I'm actually kind of glad I'm not going with it.
I'm with you, Jim, and welcome into the show. Thanks for always saying yes to me. I know I
Thank you, man.
Hey, it's always great to see you. Look great, by the way. I got to say that retirement, quote unquote, has done you well. So I'm happy for you. But I want to put your analyst hat on right now. Who's the quarterback of the Michigan Wolverines going forward, and why?
Well, Saturday night against Hawaii, it's going to be J.J. McCarthy. Because Harbaugh said so.
I know. Come on, Jim. You know what I'm talking about.
And again, I think, here's how I look at it. Call me stupid. And Braylon, Ryan, you can both talk to this, but I think J.J. is the 4th of July. He's fireworks. He is unbelievable in his abilities to do stuff. But Cade is like a Ford F-150 truck. He's not going to look good, but he's going to get it done. He's not going 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, but he's going to get it done. He's not going to make mistakes. He's the coach's best friend. He'll find a way to win. And all he did last year was win a Big Ten championship and get you to the Final Four. Again, it's not as flashy as JJ, and JJ probably has more upside, but they both bring a lot of good stuff to the table. And I think this game is critical for JJ. He's got to prove that the fireworks can happen on a consistent basis each and every series. And he can't turn it over. Those are the things that I think that the head coaches look for in a quarterback. Who can lead?
Now, Jim, you were an old offensive lineman, and Cade McNamara kind of stepped up a couple days ago when he bought his offensive lineman some brand new Ping golf clubs. So he's giving his NIL money to his guys. He's a captain, for crying out loud. And here's a guy, they ask him, did you expect this quarterback roulette? And he said last week after the game, no, I was surprised. I didn't expect this. I thought I was the quarterback going forward. What's that kid thinking right now?
I'm thinking that in order to solidify this job, I got to play better. I've got to be the guy that Jim Harbaugh can't sit down. I mean, when Tom Brady had the same issue with Drew Henson, what did Tom Brady do? Tom Brady worked harder, got better, and Lloyd Carr couldn't sit him down. And that's, I think, the mentality you have to have if you're Cade McNamara at this point. Make sure that in practice, every pass is right there, accurate, on time. Every decision is the right decision. You don't turn it over. You be the quarterback's best or the coach's best friend. That's what Cade has to have going through his mind right now.
Hey, Brandon, I got to ask you, play devil's advocate on this, and I promise you I won't lead you down any dark corners. I've learned to stay away from those dark alley rooms as it relates to doing media. But in Cade's defense, let's say I'm playing Cade's attorney right now. Cade did all those things in offseason. He did them in spring ball. Then JJ gets hurt in spring ball. He doesn't have to worry about JJ in spring ball. He does all that in the summer. He's leading the mile runs, the 1.5 mile runs. He's leading all these things. He's getting guys together. They're watching film. He gets through his training camp. Everybody says he has an amazing training camp. He's not necessarily worried about JJ at this point. And then all of a sudden, the week before the game, Harbaugh, to his knowledge, comes out of left field and says, I'm going to start Cade. The following week, I'm going to start JJ. Wouldn't that put you at a mental disposition going into just game one? Everything else you said is 100% correct, but wouldn't that put you at a mental disposition maybe for 1 week?
It would, but Braylon also, you know this as well as anybody, at that level and at any level you play, you got to understand and know you're only as good as your last snap. And Cade, I think, understands that. And yeah, it would have been disappointing that Jim put that on him, but that only if you are the guy you need to be. If you're that leader, Braylon, then you take that and say, oh, okay, that's a little bit of a setback, but you know what? That only makes my resolve harder. That makes me tougher. That will make me work harder and be more on point and be more detailed so that Jim Harbaugh cannot make that same decision 2 weeks down the road. That's where he's got to go with his mind.
You're right.
All of us know. All of us have played at that level. I played that way back in 71. I was the same way. You're only as good as your last snap.
Yeah.
I mean, you got every week you got to bring it. Every snap you got to bring it. When you get to that point, then you've arrived. But if you are going to go over the corner and cry, you're going to be in the corner a long time.
He's right about that.
Hey, Jim, I want to ask you one more question about this quarterback situation. Then I'd like to ask you a little bit about the Detroit Lions, if I could. Just back to this quarterback thing. When you first got out here, you said, that college football is going in a completely different direction with the NIL and everything. And then, of course, Cade McNamara and J.J. McCarthy. How much does that weigh on a coach's mind now? If I don't play JJ, well, then maybe I got to worry about if he's going to leave now because I got an extra year with JJ. So, I mean, how much of this goes to the head coach's decision-making process now?
Well, and again, that's a great point, and that's part of the changing landscape of how you handle, how a head coach's job has gotten a lot tougher. How you handle the mental aspect or the approach you take with each player that comes in. And I'd like to remind you, Ryan, it's not just with a quarterback. You can have a great running back, a number 3 running back that can start with somebody else. And he might say, hey, I'm not going to I can play somewhere. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Same thing wide receivers. Same thing offensive linemen, defensive ends. You name it. It happens at every position on the roster. So a head coach has to have not just the ability to recruit, but the ability to convince a young man that this is the place for you, for your education, for your ability to play the football that you want to play at the highest level, for you socially, for you to be able to mature, for you to be able to move on to the next level. This is your best spot. That is a hard job when there are others out there saying, come on over here. We'll make it easier and better for you. It's a really difficult thing. And the transfer portal has made it so easy for that player to make the move. He doesn't lose any eligibility. In the past, if you decided you wanted to go, you had to sit out a year. Lose a year of eligibility. Not the case anymore. So it's like free agency.
Without question.
And it's a very, very tough situation these head coaches have been put in. Not just Jim Harbaugh, but across the board, all across the country. They're all dealing with this issue.
No question. Talking to Jim Brandstatter. For many people like me, growing up and in my adult years, you listen to Brandy on Saturday calling Michigan games and on Sunday calling Lions games. I can't let you out of here without a thought on Dan Campbell and the 2022 Detroit Lions, Brandy.
I love Dan Campbell. I think he's the right guy for the job. But again, you look at Buffalo last night playing Los Angeles. Josh Allen is he is a beast. Matthew Stafford's a great quarterback. He's a Super Bowl quarterback. But you see when you lose Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr. from that roster in LA, and you get Von Miller over in Buffalo, that one guy, he makes such a huge difference.
Yeah.
So in the Lions' perspective, I think Dan Campbell's the right guy. I think they're heading the right direction. I love their enthusiasm. I love the way they're doing it. But Braylon knows this. He played in the National Football League. In that league, there's only one winner. If you don't go to win the Super Bowl, your season's not really going. I don't want to be a guy that roots for the Lions and say, oh boy, let's get to the playoffs. And I think that's where we are. I think right now this team is at the point where you got to beat Green Bay. And I heard you earlier talk about Green Bay's issues. They may not be that team in the NFC North, but they still got number 12. They still got Aaron Rodgers. And until they beat him and win that division and get a home playoff game, I think the Lions are still that middle-of-the-road kind of team, even though I love Dan Campbell. I mean, you guys agree or disagree?
No, I agree. I agree with everything you said. Like, I mean, how am I going to argue with Jim Brandstatter? Like, stop playing. Who am I? Who am I? This guy knows everything. Stop it.
Hey, Brandon, did you watch Hard Knocks?
You good, man. Braylon, you're not a shrinking pilot over there, big fella.
I'm also not the voice of Michigan football as I know it, Jim Brandstatter.
Brandy, I wanted to ask if you watched Hard Knocks. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was great. Personally, I just love I like the production value of it. The fact that The NFL is king. Okay, I mean, they put this show together. It's a reality series in real life, but you get the total access. The guys are comfortable. They come in with an army of photographers and sound guys, and they stay out of the way, and they create an opportunity for the guys to be themselves. I mean, when you put Aidan Hutchinson up there singing Billie Jean, I mean, that's priceless.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that Braylon and I used to privacy of the locker room. And when you're able to do it in such a way that it's natural and it's not forced, you're going to sell. You're going to have a lot of people watching. Yeah. And the NFL does it the right way. I love how it does. I love the esprit de corps of that football team, and I love Dan Campbell, the fact that he knows how to handle those guys. He plays the game. You pat him on the back at times, and then you can also bust their butt when you think that they're not doing something right. You got to have that ability, and I think Campbell has it. That's the one thing you can include for me in Hard Knocks.
Hey, Brandy, thanks so much for doing this, man. It just doesn't feel right not hearing you on Saturdays. So anytime we get a chance to hear you, it's just our pleasure. Thank you so much. 100%. We hope to do it again at some point down the road.
Center back over there goes. They look for Calvin Johnson. Out that left side. That was got it. Breaks the tackle. He's gone.
Yeah. There it is. There it is. Love you, big guy.
Oh, my God.
I should take it back. Love you, small guy.
Tommy, be well, big guy.
You got it. The great Jim Brandstatter. You can follow him on Twitter at Jim Brandstatter. Just the absolute best. And a boatload of knowledge, and the voice is synonymous with football, Michigan football, and honestly, Lions football as well. Going to take a break, come right back. Braylon, you have an interesting example of something that Brandy said. We'll share that with you next. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience. And it's your last month to register to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome. It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Trader.com is the number one site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game from multiple sportsbooks. Simply put, Odds Trader does it the best no matter what you want to bet on. Last night, I know a lot of people were upset with the Rams, but guess what? They made that bet at oddstrader.com. All the sportsbooks, multiple sportsbooks, they do it right. All the players you want to bet on, the future MVPs you want to bet on, gotta go to oddstrader.com. Simply put, oddstrader.com is the best.
Hey guys, like the show. If you're watching on YouTube, let's get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment.
We're not there yet?
No, we're not. I didn't start asking for like. You gotta ask.
I guess so.
I gotta ask. Braylon, Brady was talking about a situation when you're a senior too, and all the things that go along with that. You have an example.
Yeah, he was talking about being a senior or being a player that has experience, being a veteran on the Michigan Wolverines team or any team in the country, any program. Look, you know what's expected of you out of these college programs. You know there's always somebody gunning for you. It's somebody coming to take your spot. Talk about Cade McNamara, and I asked the question. I said, hey, look, is it possible he got derailed at the week into the game? Jim Harbaugh telling him that he's going to start, then there's another guy starting. And Brandy makes an excellent point. It's the mindset that you got to have. I remember getting benched my junior year. So this is after the Oregon game. We lose to Oregon, and I had a big game, but I had a couple drops. Lloyd Carr benches me. Coach Carr benches me next week. Steve Breston starting all week in practice. I'm running with the twos. Steve Breston starts in the game. So my mindset was either one or two things. I could either accept that Lloyd Carr benched me and say, well, I guess I'm a two now, and have an attitude and pout about it, or I could go out there and fight for it. So I went out there and fought in practice, fought hard to keep my job. Steve starts the game, but as soon as they put me in, I had a 3rd and 18 completion for a touchdown. The next play I scored, for a first down. Next play I scored a touchdown, and I scored another touchdown. But it was the way in which I attacked practice. Like my mindset, I remember telling Sue, Eric Campbell, man, this isn't fair. Why is Coach benching me? I had 148 yards. He's benching me. Sue told me, it's about your mindset. What are you going to do now? So I said, all right, I'll show this MF or something. So I went and practiced, and I destroyed the DBs. I was picking fights every day, and I went into that game against Indiana. Maybe I didn't go into about the fifth series. First play, 18-yard catch, first down. Next play, touchdown. It's about the mindset. And if you really believe in who you are, and if you really understand where you are, you got to go out there and fight for it. So, Cade, I challenge you. Look, don't worry about what was named this or what was that or what the people are talking about. Go get your job. If it's your job, go fight for it.
Forgive the mix-up in the years, but who was the quarterback at that time? Do you remember Chad
Navarre?
Navarre, okay.
Yeah, Navarre. That was Navarre's last year.
When you go in the game,
underrated.
When you go
100%.
in the game, do you have to say anything, or do you look at him and you're like, get me the ball right now?
My look was menacing. Like I just was ready for war. Like I walked in the huddle. Usually I have my mouthpiece out. I'm like laughing and giggling in the huddle. That's the guy I've always been. I have my mouthpiece in. Like me having my mouthpiece in, John was like, okay. Okay. It's go time now.
All right, guys.
If it's yours, go get it.
Absolutely. I still want to continue on with Michigan. J.J. McCarthy had some things to say about this first start. About 1,200 days or so since his commitment to the University of Michigan. He will get his first start ever at the university. We'll talk about that next. You'll hear from him next. But first, a message. We will be at the Lions pregame show at the Brass Rail.
So it starts.
Woodward Sports for the biggest game day pre-party in the city. We go live with our pregame show, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, 11 to 1 p.m. Then enjoy tailgate-style brunch. Watch the game. Stay after. Post-game reaction show with Stick and Anson. Look out for the heavyweight street team as well. It is DJs, drink specials, giveaways, biggest Lions party in the D. Game day on Sunday, September 11th at the Brass Rail. We'll see you at 11 o'clock.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
It's the Chili Peppers. It's Mass for Chili Peppers. Yeah, we're having a good time here. 27 locations and more on the way, too, right here on Woodward Avenue. And if you join the Pepper Club, they're going to save you $5 against any competitor that comes their way on unlimited tanning. Plus, you get the cleanest salons in the D, and you get to meet the Pepper Girls. That's right, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. Check them out at chilipepperstanning.com.
Nothing really differs. I mean, going right when I stepped in the door here, I was always preparing to be the guy, snap one, game one, whatever it was. And now it's just having that reassurance that I'm going to be in there snap one. So it kind of clears all the just worry and indecisiveness going into it, and it just builds more confidence, honestly. just everything that I've been trying to prove since I walked in the door here, that I can win football games for this team. And I love every single one of my guys, love every single part of this university, and just exuberate that just endlessly throughout the game.
Gigi, how would you describe your relationship with Cade during this quarterback competition?
It's been awesome. I mean, what better way to have a guy that's that intelligent, that motivated, that driven, and just be able to observe him every single day and be able to kind of just replicate some of parts of his game that I could improve on my game. There was a couple practices where like, man, the media really doesn't want us to like each other, and we just kind of laugh at it. We take on that challenge and embrace it, and it's made us so much better as players and as human beings.
That audio courtesy of Brad Galley. I want to give him his just due on that. Channel 7 in Detroit. Great Michigan content on there. There is a little bit of a Tom Brady, oh golly gee kind of attitude from J.J. McCarthy. Maybe maybe he studied him. And I've never met J.J. McCarthy, but everything he's saying and doing is right now.
Do you know what other element there is when you listen and see J.J. McCarthy? It's the element of a freaking baller. We have been waiting for a quarterback in Ann Arbor to look like, sound like, play like the other quarterbacks around the country that are national treasures that you think about when you think of Heisman, that you think about when you think about the college football playoffs. This guy gets it. This guy is it. I've talked to multiple analysts around the country, and they've told me, why doesn't Michigan stop dancing? Why don't they start with these preliminaries and just announce the guy? Finally, every year it's another quarterback. Is it Jake Rudock or Wilton Spake? Is it Wilton Spake or John O'Corn? Is it O'Corn or is it Shea Patterson? Is it Shea Patterson or Dylan McCaffrey? Is it Dylan McCaffrey? I'm so tired of having these quarterbacks. Is it either or, and both suck?
Whatever happened to
Finally, we got a guy. I can't wait till he gets in there. This guy is gonna make plays. He just feel it when he's in there. Everybody says it, from the players on his team to the analysts around the country who have no affiliation with Michigan, to Michigan guys. Everybody sees it. Everybody feels it. One thing I will say, it is very different when you come in and plays every once in a while and they set you up for success. It's a different thing. It's a different animal when you're in there for a full game. It's another thing when you're in Iowa for a full game to start the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how the pressure is for him. But he doesn't look like a guy that deals with pressure. He looks like a guy that's comfortable in who he is and just goes for it. So, you know what? Hey, man, the new era starts this Saturday with J.J. McCarthy.
You said Dylan McCaffrey. I had to look him up. I wonder what happened to him. Dylan McCaffrey is the starting quarterback for Northern Colorado. They lost their opener. He threw his 15 of 24, 176 yards and 2 touchdowns. I totally forgot.
That sounds like a Michigan
about
quarterback
Dylan
stat line.
McCaffrey.
And his brother CMC already on the injury report. Few fantasy guys.
Those running backs don't have a long.
They got another brother too. I was in college, wide receiver, I think. Another one. Ed McCaffrey was out here making these studs, wasn't he?
Serious.
No pun intended.
Easy Ed.
Easy Ed. Hey, Easy Ed was like my guy. Because even though Rod Smith was the all-time leader in Denver Broncos history and was on that team, something about Easy Ed, man. Number 87 got it going, man.
But he was a Giant. They drafted him.
The Giants did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I only know him as a Bronco.
Yeah.
That's incredible stuff.
The Denver
but
Broncos.
look, there's nothing Michigan can do this week. They win 70-0.
Right. Does he play the whole game?
No.
No.
Here's my prediction for the Michigan game, and I know we're gonna do picks or however you guys want to do that. My prediction for the Michigan game is that J.J. McCarthy every time he leads Michigan on a drive, if it's 6 possessions, they're gonna score six touchdowns. If it's 5 possessions, they're gonna score 5 touchdowns. If it's 7 possessions, they're going to score 7 touchdowns. J.J. McCarthy will lead Michigan on a touchdown drive every single possession he goes out on the field.
Right.
And I think they're up 42-0, something like that, at halftime. At that point, I think they go to Bowman. I don't even think they bring Cade in a 42-0 game in the third quarter, because ultimately they may need Cade at some point this season, I don't know if putting him in garbage duty is the time you do that.
I think you play K. I think you play J. I agree with you, by the way. I mean, it's Hawaii, and we keep saying JJ is the next descendant of Jesus Christ. So I would expect that it would be that stat line. I think you play JJ first half. I think you play K the third quarter because he didn't look very good against Colorado State. Colorado State is about the same level of football that you're going to get out of Hawaii. I didn't like how he looked. He missed some throws that were there. He ignored some players that he would take. Usually, he would take the guys that are open. I want to see something out of K. I don't want him just not to play. I would like him to play in the third, see what you get, and then you can play Bowman and Orji in the fourth quarter. But I definitely want to see K play in the third.
I like that too, Bray, because I want this kid. Let's say JJ does throw for 5 touchdowns or runs in a couple. That's going to put Cade, he's going to have to come in and say, all right, I'm going to have to open up my game a little bit. I'm going to have to show him that I can do that too. So I'd like to see him follow in JJ in one game. I think that's a great thing. And then you're playing UConn the next week. Do the same damn thing. Whoever starts, bring the other guy in to follow him. Let's see, really, who is the quarterback. And by the way, Neil Rule has picked Hawaii as his best bet.
I don't know. Good for Neil Rule.
Shocking.
I mean, yeah, good for Neil Rule. I mean, he hates Michigan.
He hates everybody.
Yeah. I mean, he certainly hates Michigan.
Well, he likes his whack teams. He likes Hawaii. He says, Hawaii is my whack team. Pick of the week. That's all.
And that, my friends, is
a whack take. Yeah.
He also likes Texas to hang with Alabama.
I like that as well. I mean, you look at that offense, like, listen, if you look at the top 5 rated quarterbacks coming out of high school in the last 5 years, Quinn Ewers is number 1. He's 100%. Like, that was his ranking coming out of high school, 100%. Trevor Lawrence is number 2. I think Justin Fields is number 3. And there's another one, Joe Burrow, or I can't think who's ever. Quinn Ewers is 100%. Like, that was his rating coming out of high school. He's going to be good. You still got Bijan Robinson, the running back that a lot of people have bet on to win the Heisman. Coming out, he played well last year, kind of struggled down the end of the Big 12 season. But Texas, they spent a lot of money.
Who's the coach, Sark?
Sark, yes. Yeah. Year 2 for him.
And you know,
Quinn Ewers, the quarterback over there, that was that Ohio State quarterback that got paid $1 million before he even stepped.
And didn't have to pay it back.
Yep.
So you guys are big on stats. You guys are big on lines and stats and numbers and da-da-da-da. Here's the stat. 24-0 was Nick Saban against former players that coaches that coached on his staff. He's 24-0. In the last 3 games, Nick Saban is 1-2 against guys that coached under his staff. Sark is another one of those guys. He's got that Texas oil money backing him now. And there is a little bit of something there. There's been some chippiness in the media. I'm just saying. Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em.
There you go.
Hook 'em horns. I saw Mac Brown dancing the other week. You know, he was once the Texas quarterback. The head coach. I'm just saying.
All right, guys, we're going to get to our NFL Pick'em segment. It is coming up next for the first time in the 2022 season. We'll do that next, but first a message from Syntron.
Syntron is trying to get you energized. They are proud partners with the Detroit Red Wings, the Pistons, and the Tigers. But right now, they have a deal for you with the Red Wings. Pre-order the limited edition 6-pack. That has their 3 original flavors. You get 2 of each. Stuff is amazing. I take it every morning. Get myself energized. I had a long drive down to Monroe. You know I had some of that cranberry on the way down there. CintronWorld.com/Red Wings is how you go about getting it. They don't want to just be here for the small time, the big times. They want to be here for all the moments in your life. So let them. They're here for our moments. Let them be here for yours. Drink it, live it with Syntron.
Should have gave one to the cops.
You're an ugly guy, and that's okay because you've outkicked your coverage with your significant other. Well, that's good news for you. Their hotness and your notness could get you front row tickets. The Woodward Sports Network is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit versus Washington football game. That's right. We're looking for the ugliest guy and the hottest girl. So fellas, come on. If you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. Post a pic of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter or Instagram with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Follow us and tag @Woodward Sports. Hurry, because we'll be selecting a winner September 16th. We can't wait to see you. Well, her. From the network that always outkicks the competition. Woodward Sports.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
It's Bedrock.
Bedrock.
The Monroe
Rock
Street
Bed.
Midway, open till September 25th. You still have time to experience Detroit with roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and a whole lot more. A fun, safe event from everyone from 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. We will see you at the Midway.
There better not be no ladies out there rollerblading at 100 years old, man. I'm going to need that not to happen.
That's what's up. You know what time it is.
Why are you looking so intense just now? You scared the shit out of me. I looked over, you know what's up. I was like, what's up?
You know what time it is.
What time is it?
All right, Maz, explain to us how we're going to do the pick segment this year. Because this willy-nilly, I was this, you were that, it ain't going to work anymore.
No, we're going to have to keep score.
Yeah.
Well, they did keep score like last year when we did on the pregame
I will
show.
personally keep score.
Okay. I don't know about that.
You know, okay, then someone keep score.
I'm joking with you, man.
Jeremy, you keep score.
We can.
Okay, you got a pad, you got a piece of paper and a pen?
I'll keep score this week.
Here.
Okay, you're going to write down who we have.
Write down
okay?
who you have.
Then I'll do a sheet,
And then you
I
got
will
to do a
keep track.
sheet, okay?
All right, here we go.
Okay.
We're going to pick with the spreads, not just winners. We're going to pick with the spreads.
I won last year, by the way. Give my credit.
You think?
No, I know for a fact. The pregame show, remember? I won.
Okay.
I am doing this for entertainment
this
purposes
is entertainment only. This is all entertainment.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, hit it. Here we go. We got enough music?
Yeah,
We good?
Perfect.
All right, we're going to start with the Lions and the Eagles. I know you're supposed to make that the last one, but we're going to go to it because we all know who we're going to
Jeremy,
pick.
give me another song. Hit me with some heat. Hit me another one.
Hit me with some heat.
Hit me with some heat. We've been listening to that one for a year now.
I wish we had some NFL music that we're allowed to
Can't
play.
do it on YouTube.
I know.
Can't do it on YouTube.
I know.
All right, we'll roll with this one.
All right, Eagles at the Lions. Lions a home underdog, getting 4. Ryan's first.
I think the Lions win outright.
Okay, Braylon. You taking the Eagles laying the 4. Okay.
Eagles gonna win by 700.
I will take the Lions plus 4. Okay.
Yep.
Next person up's going to be Braylon. Here we go. Steelers at the Bengals. Battle of the AFC North. The Bengals, the Super Bowl runners-up, are favored by 6.5.
Bengals.
Okay, you're taking the Bengals.
Yep.
That goes to me now. I am going to take the Steelers and the points. Ryan?
I'll take the Steelers as well.
Okay. I lead off this next one. See how we're doing round robin? Here we go. Patriots at the Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 3.5. I'm going to take the Patriots in this game because they have owned the Dolphins back in the day, and I'm going to go to back in the day. Give me the Pats to upset the Dolphins.
The Dolphins have won 4 of the last 5 against New England.
And that's what I was waiting for. I'm like, owned them. I'm like, Dolphins are 4 in the last 5.
New England went out there 5 days before the game. They know they're in trouble. You know what time it is, Miami.
They were at South Beach. I'm taking Miami.
All right, Ryan's going to lead off the next one. Here we go. It's the Browns and the Panthers in Carolina. It is Baker Mayfield against his old team. Panthers are a home favorite, but very slight, only 1.5 points.
I think they win by a touchdown. Carolina.
You like Carolina?
I got Carolina.
The only thing holding me back from taking the Browns is Jacoby Brissett because the Browns are a good team.
In fact, that might be, if I was in a Survivor, that might be my Survivor pick.
I'm not going to bet against Baker. I like Baker. I'm going to let Baker win this game and cover that spread. Give me the Panthers. Here we go. Packers at the Vikings. You don't have to say much more about this one. Minnesota, a home dog. They're getting 1.5. Braylon.
Vikings.
Absolutely, Minnesota taking a point. I'll take Minnesota as well.
Taking the Vikings.
You jumped ahead of me, but I'll take the Packers.
Sorry.
Well, last year they did lose to the
your
Saints. They did lose to the Saints last year. You reminded me of that.
100%.
You remind me of that.
They didn't just lose. They got slaughtered by the Saints. Wow. Yeah, they lost by 20 or more, if I'm being honest.
You're making me think twice. No, I'm not. Give me the Packers.
He's making a list.
Here we
He's
go.
checking it twice.
Who's up first now? I think Braylon's up first. Raiders at the Chargers. Remember last year, the final game of the year?
Yeah.
Raiders had the win to get in the playoffs.
Yep.
Chargers favored by 3 at home. And I put home in quotes because nobody roots for the Chargers.
So you asked me this question about do people forget? Do teams, they build off of losses 100%. They missed the playoffs because of this same Los Angeles or the same Las Vegas Raiders. So taking the Chargers and Justin Herbert.
I'm up next, and I'm going to take the Chargers as well.
Make it 3 ways. LAC.
And you said the Raiders aren't going to make the playoffs.
Nope. I think Derek Carr's a good quarterback. I think he's just the worst quarterback in his division.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, it's just a hell of a division.
Yeah.
And finally, we have the Bucks at the Cowboys. We're not going to pick every game. So Bucks at Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys favored by. Cowboys are getting 2.5 at home.
You can give them 10.5. It doesn't matter. I'm taking the Bucks. The Buccaneers, baby. Tom Brady is also my fantasy league quarterback, so let's go, Tom.
Look, there's something about me that wants to take Dallas in this game because, you know, they're at home, they're getting points. I mean,
Because you have their colors on, that's all.
Yeah, and Tampa Bay's injured. It's been a tumultuous kind of camp and off season for Tampa Bay. New head coach. Quarterback comes back, then he leaves, then he comes back.
And defense isn't hurt.
No, it's not. But there's just something. I just am not a believer in the Cowboys. I am a believer in Tom Brady. I think he gets it done on the road. I think Tampa Bay wins this game.
And I'll take Dallas. I like home underdogs. Give me Dallas
but
all day long.
Got to go with Tampa.
And let's give you the college games. We know who we're going to take.
The 2 of them, yeah.
Michigan laying 51.5 points to Hawaii. Your pick, Ryan.
I think Michigan wins by 60 or more. I just think it's that kind of whooping. I mean, I'll say 70-7 maybe. So
Wow.
I think
You think
63.
70
Yeah,
points?
I think they score 70.
Go ahead,
You
Brett.
act like you haven't seen Michigan score 70. They've scored 70 twice in the last 6 years. They've scored 60 twice. And they've scored 63 times, 70 twice. And this is going to be the first time they score 80. Going 80 points. They're going to lay it on them. I take it.
There's a night game. I think I'd bet the under on the points on this one.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either. But if you're saying 80 and 70, I don't think they're going to score that much. I think they're going to call off the dogs and not cover this week, but win by about 45.
All right, so you're taking Hawaii?
I'm taking Hawaii and the
Braylon,
points.
you got.
Yeah, I'm taking Michigan, but that energy at night games is going to be through the roof. It's going to be electric. They want to show that they are the team in the Big Ten. They want to show that last year wasn't a fluke. So I think this year you'll see style points. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to go for style points in all games this season.
And lastly, Michigan State favored by 34.5 over the Akron Zips.
My best bet of the week is Akron, plus 34.5.
Wow.
I think they are absolutely going to cover this. I do not think Michigan State covers this. I think Akron is the best bet of the week.
I don't think Michigan State covers as well. I think Michigan State will have a better showing than they did last week, but I do not believe they will cover. I mean, if you look at the Akron roster, it's loaded with transfer portal guys that have come from major schools. Like I said, they got 2 Georgia guys on that team, an Alabama guy. They have 2 Michigan State kids on that team, a Michigan kid, 2 Syracuse. The list goes on. Akron will not let them cover.
I got to think that Mel Tucker really got on these guys over the week. I think they're going to dominate and cover that spread. Give me MSU.
So Michigan can't beat Hawaii, who's the worst team in the country.
It's just my opinion, Braylon.
I'm just man.
It's just my opinion.
But man, I just can't ask you.
You can ask me. Go ahead.
Never mind. It pissed you off that I asked. No, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry that I like to have a conversation with a guy that I work a job with 5 days a week.
Oh, here we go.
I didn't even say anything. What do you mean, here we go? Oh, you know what? Let me stop before I get another ticket. I'm speeding.
MSU covers.
MSU it's gonna be a 1-score game at the half.
No way.
I'll one up you there. 1-score game at the half.
I'm glad you don't bet.
Look out for that. I'm glad I don't either.
Did you
but
see
that's right. You say stuff like
Did you see the Big Ten schedule, by the way?
No.
The TV? Put that up there, Fletcher. Might as well show it to everybody.
Nobody's playing anybody this week. This is the worst week.
Look at this Big Ten schedule.
Yeah, this is the worst week.
Look at it.
I mean, Illinois, Virginia might be the best game on there. Wisconsin, Washington State, decent. It's okay. I mean, they're MAC schools.
I like Iowa State to beat Iowa this week. I do.
Best 2 games up there probably Duke and Northwestern and Virginia and Illinois.
Ohio. Not Ohio State. Ohio. Penn State.
That's a party school.
All right, guys. There is one part about the Lions schedule that I want to get to next. And also baseball changes, big, drastic changes in baseball, not soon enough.
This year.
Yeah, we'll get to all of it. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing: stay out. Whether you're home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you stays safe. Call that number right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarthy on our side.
Lemieux and McCarthy, who've had a good knockdown drag out. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
For a limited time only, the all-new burgers
Big
and loaded
Boy.
fries are at Big Boy. It's not just the Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese, the burger is such a tease. And guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Instead of regular French fries, get some chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, or try the nacho fries. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Big Boy. Hey, guys, just quickly, I did want to mention, I saw this earlier in the week. We're going to do this a little bit on the pregame show as well. The Week 1 power rankings were out, Pro Football Talk. And the thing I noticed about this, which, again, the Lions play 10 games against teams 22nd through 32.
Yep.
It just gives me a little bit of hope, at least.
It doesn't. Because where are they in those 10 teams in 32?
Oh, they're down there at 28.
Exactly. They're in there too. So that's why when I look at this list, and you say they play 10 teams, blah, 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 I look at the offenses of those teams.
Yeah.
I look at the playmakers that they have on the other side of the ball, and I look at the defense, which is the side that I keep telling you is going, well, that we all know. So it's not me. It's all of us knowing that that's going to be the hindrance of the Detroit Lions this year is the defense. Although Aaron Glenn, tremendous coach. You saw he had those guys in games last year. It's just that defense, man. Like, I'm telling you, it's going to be a tough road. A lot of offensive star power that these guys are playing against. You look at those teams in that division, yeah, they're down there, but they got guys that can make plays.
Hey, I got one more fill-in-the-blank NFL for you guys I didn't get to because Brandy was on. The last one I want to give you is, at season's end, 49ers quarterback Trey Lance will be blank.
49ers backup quarterback.
You believe that, huh?
I just don't. I think they kept Jimmy G for a reason. And, we heard Aaron Glenn say it in reference to Aidan Hutchinson was, sometimes you draft these guys and then they get into the building and they're more than what you expected, and sometimes they're less than what you expected. And I just think Trey Lance isn't the guy that they thought they were going to get. He was the only quarterback last year that really didn't play. Of the 4 or 5 quarterbacks that were taken last year. I don't know. I think it was 5 first-round picks, 5 quarterbacks in the first 15 picks in the NFL draft. He was the only one that really didn't have a significant role or start. And I think they hung on to Jimmy G for a reason. So, yeah, I think backup quarterback.
I put at the end, season's end, 49ers QB Trey Lance will be dominant.
There you go.
I think he's going to be dominant. I think they brought him back just in case. But I don't know that the just in case necessarily means that Trey Lance can't get it done. Maybe you're just realizing that your team is stacked and you still have a Super Bowl ready team. You don't want an injury to a quarterback be the thing that derails you from a Super Bowl. And we know what Jimmy Garoppolo can do in terms of managing a damn good defense and a damn good offense. So I just think with Trey Lance, we're going to see something we've never had. Just think about Kyle Shanahan. He's never had a quarterback. Kyle Shanahan, wherever he's been, he's never had a guy that can run the offense, a guy that can be exceptional, a guy that can be, like phenomenal in his offense. He's just had guys that are just guys, whether it's Kirk Cousins or whether it's, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. He's had guys that are just guys. Mark my words, Trey Lance is going to get it figured out. Give him a couple weeks. Let it look like something in the first 3 weeks. Don't be overreacting. But at the end of the season, Trey Lance is going to be nice in this offense.
They traded 3 number 1 picks to move up and get that kid. He better be he better be what he's supposed to be.
They've plugged in. So now you look, the offensive line is really good for the 49ers. You look at the running back situation based on this offense. They've plugged and played how many running backs, and all those running backs have still had success. Whether it's Matt Breida, whether it's Raheem Mostert, whether it's Tevin Campbell, whether it doesn't matter. Like the running backs have success in this offense. Quarterbacks have success as well. You still got George Kittle, who's in the top 3 tight ends in the league.
Bad groin though.
Well, that's your favorite word right now is the groin injury. That's yours. And then you still got a guy that you just gave it back to by the name of Deebo Samuel. So with that being said, I think this guy will be all right.
Mash, talk to me about this baseball situation.
Let's pop it up there, Fletch. And Fletch doesn't like these rules either as a young baseball fan. Me, I'm okay with 2 of them. The bigger bases, I'm good with because that's going to create less injuries. Maybe the pitcher can get over to the bag a little quicker. The first baseman can't hog the bag anymore, so the bases are going to be bigger. And now they have a pitch clock, an official pitch clock. And I don't know the exact rules of the pitch clock, but they will have one. They want to try to speed this game up. You youngsters like a quicker game. That's for you. What I don't like is the shift. I know you do. They're going to ban the shift. So that's like going to basketball and banning the zone defense.
There's an illegal defense.
There's a legal defense, but that's because if you sit down there and just sit there.
No, but I'm saying,
but why can't
you get a penalty for the legal defense in the NBA?
Yes, you can. That's for one guy sitting in the circle.
Well,
that's
okay,
it.
you got one guy sitting in the middle of the outfield.
Yeah, that's because I know you're going to hit it there, and you can't hit it over there. So I'm going to put my guy where I know you're going to hit it.
Well, in the NBA, I know your guy can't make a 3-pointer, but this guy has success in the paint, so I'm going to camp my guy right here to guard the paint.
It's 5 guys, Brian. It's 5. It's 5 on 5 in basketball. This is baseball, man.
Where it's 9 on 9.
You're a 300 hitter. If you can't hit it to left field when I'm giving you the entire field, that's your problem. That's your problem. Victor Martinez, I keep going back to him.
Get him, man.
310 hitter, lifetime.
Get him, man.
They gave him the entire left side of the field.
Entire left side of the field.
He couldn't even bunt it over there.
He couldn't even bunt it over there.
I don't buy a ticket to see.
I don't give a damn what you're looking for.
I don't give a damn what you're looking for.
I'm coaching.
Look, I don't buy a ticket to see Victor Martinez bunt down the third base line or slap it towards the left side. I don't buy a ticket to that.
Come on, man, say something else.
And it's the same. It's the same way in the NBA. If you watch that Tim Donaghy, the NBA told these referees, our fans are not buying tickets to see the stars on the bench. I don't want to see travel calls. I don't want to see foul calls. Our fans are not buying tickets to see the stars on the bench. Conversely, in baseball, people do not buy a ticket to see Victor Martinez bunt down the third base line because they're giving it to him.
First of all, I hate the basketball analogy that you brought up. Traveling.
I'm on his team now.
What a sin! What a sin that they outlaw traveling. You can make LeBron James average whatever the hell he wants and do whatever the hell he wants.
It's a much more entertaining game.
Follow the rules, LeBron. Follow the freaking rules. That's all.
He is.
Follow the rules.
He is. He's
no,
followed.
He doesn't.
He is followed.
They changed the rules for him.
Yes.
Just like they changed the rules for Jordan.
Yes.
Just like they changed the rules for Kareem
Yes.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Because
they
why?
changed the rules for the great. Because I came to see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I came to see Michael Jordan, and now I'm coming to see LeBron James.
Illegal defense.
Thank you.
Hey, listen.
Oh, my God.
This is how simple it is. Me running my little girl's 8U Lemon Drop softball team. Guess what? Little Katie is going to hit it right to you, honey. So be ready. Now, I can't tell her that? I can't put my girl over there?
Nope.
Because little Katie's going to hit it to her?
Nope.
Well, that's wrong.
Well, it's not wrong to others.
Well,
Braylon,
enjoy your game.
Get us out of here, my friend.
Appreciate you guys. Hey, man, this has been a fun
Wimpy game.
This has been a fun week. Shout out to man JB in the booth. Great job by you, buddy. Great job in there. Fletch, as always, you are getting better and better and better and better, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. Adam Morris is even the building. I see you over there, Adam. Fun week. We got lots more in store. Go check out Michigan as they cover the spread. You know what the hell? Michigan State covers the spread as well, but I know who ain't going to cover that spread, and that's those Detroit Lions. We are Ermanni Edwards with Maz. You guys have yourself a good weekend.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop.
Go.
All right. Go ahead.
2, 1.
Oh, my God.
Go.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this. Oh.